welcome to My Voices Have Tourettes, and that's why it is episode number 50. My name is Dan Zerin. Let's get started here. So today's episode is brought to you by Gamesless Studio, where we are recording The Secret Cellar, Iceland's first and only comedy club, and Smaldy's Volcano Sauces, the greatest hot sauces I've ever had in my entire life. I love that this new tick has been happening lately. It happens once, and just everyone that I'm talking to right now just has this biggest smile on their face. I am so happy that this makes people happy. But anyway, let's get right to this. So I am joined by, honestly, three of my best friends on the planet. They are the three people that I run My Voices Have Tourettes with. And I'm just going to welcome them on here. Let's welcome Stefnir Benediktsson, who is here with me in the studio. And then over Zoom, we have Elva Dögg, and we have Þórhallur Þórhallsson. And I like that both of you are joining us from Breiðholt.
Oh, yes.
The ghetto of Iceland is how it's how it's known in Iceland. And I love that it's known as the ghetto of Iceland. But I just recently went to the makeout spot of Breiðholt, and it is a gorgeous waterfall.
That's not Breiðholt.
It is a gorgeous waterfall where we make out at Elva Dögg.
Yeah, that's not Breiðholt.
Yeah. It's not Breiðholt. Where is it?
Yeah, where the waterfall. The waterfall is kind of in Breiðholt. That is true. It's but you would never say, that it's in Breiðholt, but it's. Yeah.
But it's like the makeout place for people in Breiðholt.
Yes.
Like back in the States.
And that's why me and Þórhallur are going there later tonight.
Oh, back in the States, our makeout spot was like the parking lot behind a Denny's.
Yeah, and someone will come and kill you. That's how it is in the States.
But here in Iceland, you guys
like
do
Son of Sam or something, like killing people in lovers' lanes.
Right, but here in Iceland, it's just like, regardless of how we feel about our city, let's at least go somewhere with some class.
Yes.
I am Samson. I will kill you now.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm so glad we could do this. This is the 50th episode. We have made it to 50 episodes.
Wow.
First of all, I wanted to ask you guys.
Mouth on that one.
The mouth on that one. That is something I see. Like, I finally found out where I got that from. But I do it differently. It's from the movie Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah.
Because one of the characters is constantly butchering the English language. He doesn't sound like a cockatoo, but actually, we have to figure out what bird this is. I don't know what it is. But it's from Johnny Dangerous. There's this character that's always like butchering all the swear words. So it's like the swear words specifically. So instead of saying them, he's like, "You fargin' sneaky bastard." And there's this part where he just like goes like a ton of them, and one of the guys is just like, "Oh, would you believe the mouth on that guy?" And I just took it as the mouth on that one. But actually, since my Tourette's is like really excited about it, I have a new tick that I've been developing that makes me sound like a bird.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks.
It's the best tick.
I
love it.
I love that this has been the easiest transition to feeling comfortable about a tick, because like you guys are so used to all the ticks that I have, and I'm so used to how you guys make fun of me for having ticks, that it's just like I felt really, really subconscious about it, or self-conscious about it, for the first like 2 days before you guys even heard it. I was just at my apartment doing it. And then I went out and I met with you guys, and I just talked about it, and you guys were just like, "Yeah, but it's kind of cute."
It's freaking adorable.
And I'm like, it is.
I mean, you and Dad, we live together. I actually thought that Cardi B was over. Just
always like, oh.
And every time I hear you do it on stage, I just laugh and laugh and laugh. It's just so funny and adorable and just. Yeah.
Actually,
I'm glad that we have a new tick, because Elva has stopped doing her.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I think that's rude.
Yes, it is.
Because it would bring me a lot of joy and laughter.
It's rude that she stopped being a rude Frenchman.
Yes.
I still love I remember my favorite moment of Elva doing that tick was when we went to a restaurant together. We were getting food and the waiter comes over and he's just like, so here are the specials. Well, we've got a special on the soup today and we've got a special on the chicken. And Elva goes, And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll get the soup. Jeez. There's no need to be rude about it. Oh, that would have been great if I had this tick when that happened. It would have been like, fine, I'll get the soup. Oh,
How was the soup? Oh,
yeah, it was just Actually, though, Elva, since you brought up laughing about our ticks when we perform, because you've done this, and I know that Hans has talked about this with his stuttering, and I've talked about this as well, as the idea of when we go on stage and we tick, or when Hans stutters, it's we want people to laugh because they're laughing with us in that situation.
Yeah.
And it's very, because someone was saying to me the other night when I was doing this tick on stage, I like how every time I talk about it, it happens.
Yes,
but
of course.
This woman came up to me and she was just like, I'm so glad you said to laugh at it because it made me feel okay with it because normally I'm not allowed to. And and I was wondering, now that we've done this show a lot and we've, people have laughed at it and there have been people that haven't laughed at it. What are your thoughts on that?
So if you don't give people permission to laugh at it in the beginning of the show, it just becomes very weird, and people kind of don't know, are we allowed to laugh or are we, so I think it's just very important to announce it like I always do. I always announce at the beginning of my set that I have Tourette's and, just laugh at it because otherwise the energy in the room is just going to be really weird. And when you're a stand-up comedian, the energy of the room is what you feed off. So, but I feel like after doing the show so much and hanging out with you guys and stuff that I've kind of taken it with me out to life also. Yeah. I'm just somewhere, I'm not with anyone I know and I have to walk in a circle or kick my foot in some manner. And
wait, your foot or your food?
My foot.
Because I've seen you do both.
Yes. Sometimes I just carry on. I don't even look around me if anyone was watching. And sometimes I look around, and if someone's watching, I just smile at them, or maybe I say, "Oh, there's a lot of Tourette's," and then I just go away, And I think it helps because everyone knows, here in Iceland, everyone knows what Tourette's is. So the moment you just say to people, "I have Tourette's," this is, it's fine. They don't care anymore. So I feel it's the better way to live with Tourette's. That's to be open about.
I think I just got a funny thought because I started doing something after there's a thing that I do every once in a while that I got from a friend of mine back in the States where when I fart, I'm just is there a duck in here? And I was just thinking, it'd be fun to walk around in public. And if I do that tick, thank you, Tourette's. If I do that and someone looks at me, I'd just be like, is there a bird following me? What's going on?
So your fart sounds like a duck?
It's just a thing that one of my friends used to say, whenever someone oh. It's not a goose. Yeah. But no, when someone would fart, he'd just be like, is there a duck in here? But and actually, with Þórhallur and Stefnir, with you guys, how has it been for you guys with that idea of because this stuff, it's not just with ticks and stuff like that. Just have you noticed that when you talk openly about this stuff, people have very varying reactions?
Sure. Yeah. But this is something that I've done because I'm autistic. I sort of, when I meet someone and we're talking and it's working, I usually tell people that I'm autistic, so I might become a little weird, or there might be a little bit of a social faux pas or something, or I might become miscommunication or awkwardness or blah blah blah. And as soon as I mention it, people sort of loosen up, and it feels great.
Yeah. Oh, that explains why you are like you are. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I remember when with Stefnir, because you talk about him in your stand-up.
Yeah.
And there's a story that Stefnir tells in his stand-up about a friend of ours who's also done the show, who's also autistic. And I remember once because I was telling Stefnir about the joke that you said. And because of him taking things so literally and not sensing sarcasm and all that stuff, he thought you were just being a jackass.
Yeah.
And he was just like, what an asshole. And I was like, no, he was just joking. Like he didn't mean it. And then he goes, oh, and then had like this serious look on his face, like, I don't get it.
And good old Captain Literal.
But it's
I loved it when Elva and Stefnir were having a conversation, and Elva being really sarcastic and just saying strange stuff, and this was before she knew that he was autistic, and I knew what was going on. He was not understanding what she was saying, and I just let it happen, and I was just watching and dying. I was laughing so much. He was like, what is going on?
Because I was just saying stuff like, oh, you're a horrible person. I hate you, or something. I don't remember what it was, but it was something like that. Yeah. And his face just started getting like more and more terrified. It was like...
And I could have stepped in and helped the whole thing, but no.
Yeah, you could have.
Because the thing is, Elva, you're like the opposite of the horse whisperer, but for autism. You're like the opposite, where it's like you don't sense that, like you don't speak to them in a way that like autistic people can understand and make things easier. You're the complete opposite. You talk to them in a way where they're just like, what is going on? Do you hate me? Why are you talking to me like this? That's so rude.
I mean, people who are not autistic sometimes don't understand if I'm joking or not. So, it's
This should be like a challenge for autistic people, the Elva challenge. Like, get autistic people in a room and go, if you can understand when Elva's being serious and not serious,
yes,
you're understanding sarcasm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the ultimate test.
The ultimate test. Yeah. And they'd all walk out going, she is a horrible human being.
It'd be like fighting It'd be like fighting the big boss in a video game.
Oh yeah.
Like you start with Þórhallur, who's like mildly sarcastic, and then you get to me, who like I'm very sarcastic, but I'm not like as sarcastic as Elva. And then it's just like you get to Elva, and it's like round 1, fight. But Þórhallur, how's it been for you with like that, with like talking about anxiety? Because I mean, we've joked about the thing about how people are just like, oh, don't we all have anxiety? But how has it been with the reactions to the information in the jokes?
I mean, just like in real life, I had a meeting the other day, and I was pitching this idea to a TV station, and the woman that met me, she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna meet, the executive, the boss, and this." I was meeting all the most important people there, and I was like, "Well, thank God I'm not I don't have anxiety." And she was like, I was like, "I'm joking. I have a lot of anxiety," and she was just like. She started to be really concerned for my. I was like, no. This is like I'm always prepared for a bad situation. So they kind of felt like sorry for me. They were like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No. I'm always not okay."
We love your idea.
Yeah.
We love your idea, but could you stop crying?
Please stop being in the fetal position and cry and just tell us what
come
you
up, sit on the chair. Let's have a conversation. No, I'm okay down here.
I've said this a million times. It's just like, I'm going to say it a million times more. It just helps so much to be open with everything and talk about it, and especially on stage and everything. You just people, it's so good to talk about it, be open with everything.
But I love how sometimes people forget, like they forget the things that we talk about. Like I was talking to Eckert, who was on the podcast from Smalty's Volcano Sauce, and he was talking about how like he tried calling you Þórhallur the other day, and he was like, yeah, I didn't get a hold of him, and I'm like, that's because you tried calling him. He's not going to answer the phone. He's talked about this so many times. He doesn't answer phones because he has anxiety, and he's talking to me on the phone. He just like, I tell him that, and he goes, why? And I'm like, because he's got anxiety. He talks about this all the time, and he goes, but it's just a phone call. And I'm like, dude, it's anxiety. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. There's no logic.
Kind of just like, if you want Þórhallur to answer a phone call, you have to send him a message first.
Yeah.
Like when I sent you a message, and I said, I need to talk to you. It's nothing about you personally. And
that would make it worse for me.
No,
because you, okay. She's not mad at me or anything, so
right.
I can talk to her.
Elva used to say just, I need to talk to you, and nothing more. Not like a smiley face or anything, just like, I need to talk to you. And then she went offline, and I wouldn't hear from her for a week, and I was just, what's happening? What's going on?
I am so happy, though, that Elva found a way to just use a GIF to tell us when she's got bad news. Like I love that. Like in our group message on Facebook, it's just whenever we get that GIF from the Goonies of just, hey, you guys, we're just like, all right, what's wrong?
Oh, the Goonies guy.
And I remember like the first time you did it, like it wasn't even that big of a deal. No. But she just wanted to say, hey, you guys. So we were just like, oh, okay. Hey, how's it going? And then she's just like, oh yeah, everything's good. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to make it tonight. And we're just like, wait, you're telling us this like 5 minutes before we're meeting up. And she's like, yeah, but I said, hey, you guys, like, it was a nice thing. I was being nice about it.
My car exploded.
Yeah, that's what I expect. Now when I get that, hey, you guys, I'm just like, okay, what happened? Is there mold at the apartment? Are you dying? Or do we have to we can't replace Elva Dögg. We can't get someone with that level of Tourette's.
No.
I try. My Tourette's is always trying to get to your level, but it's always like,
I'm an amateur. You're just an amateur.
Yeah, I'm a noob. I'm just constantly getting pwned by Elva's tics.
Yeah, but it's
Tourette's the video game.
Embarrassing now that my tics are getting so much better. So I kind of feel like, I feel like an imposter or something now. I'm like, yeah, I have all these Tourette's, and then I don't do any tics. I'm like, just wait for it.
You still do plenty.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
But that's actually really good. That's a really good point, because that's something like when I started getting this tic, and there was like a couple other vocal tics. I've never had like this many vocal tics before. Like I've had the squeak, of course, but that's like about it. And when I started getting more, I got like a bit of imposter syndrome, because I was just like, because I feel like every Tourettic person at some point in their life gets that thought of, am I faking it? Like, because everyone tells me I am I? And then we get these like periods of time where we don't have tics, or like they start going away, and then it's just like, wait, am I? It's a really weird feeling. And then you get that thought of, well, if I go like a month without them, what do I do on stand up?
Yes.
I have no material anymore. Who am I? What do I do?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Can I take your material?
I kind of feel sometimes I have to prove my anxiety,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this makes you nervous. I'm like, no, not this. Oh, I thought you had anxiety. Yeah, that's just stupid stuff, but not real stuff.
Yeah.
Stefnir, I feel like you're the only.
I can't answer this phone, but.
I feel like Stefnir is the only one in the group that doesn't have to prove that he's autistic, because people go, yeah, see, that just makes things make more sense.
Yeah. He just looks like one.
Because we have a certain look, right?
Yeah. You're the poster child.
I like how you didn't say he looks autistic. You said he looks like one.
Yeah.
Like he looks like one of them.
One of them.
One of them. One of them. Have you ever had that experience of like anyone, like any time where you felt like you had to prove it?
No, but I get a lot of, well, you don't feel autistic or something. And then I tell them, yeah, but I'm a really good actor. I'm very good at masking.
Yeah.
Don't you like really get like, you don't look like Ian?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't look autistic. And I'm like, what does autism look like?
Yeah.
I actually got a comment from someone at one point, and they were like, I can't believe you have Tourette's syndrome. You look so handsome. And I'm like, what do those two things have to do with each other? I mean, thank you. First of all, that's very kind of you, but in a way.
So that person was blind?
Yeah, right. Thank you. Jackass.
No, you're really handsome.
If I took care of my beard a little bit, I'd look better.
Yeah, maybe.
Elva, don't laugh too hard. Jeez.
Maybe shower once a year.
Shower once a year. Yeah, I shower twice a year. Thank you very much.
Wow, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I'm getting up there. I'm working my way to 3 times, but I can never find the time.
That's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah, you might drown.
We don't have that much water here in Iceland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're running low on water. all the autistic people listening in, I don't know if they're serious. Is there a shortage of water in Iceland? Oh man, I'll tell you guys one thing though that this podcast has really, really done for me is it's to kind of push things in a slightly different direction. I guess this podcast has really made me feel differently about people with other disorders and syndromes and disabilities. Like I was talking to my mom about I'm really trying to get more into advocacy work, and I'm really trying to get more into raising awareness specifically about autism, because I just am appalled by the way that like autistic people are treated even by autistic organizations. Yeah. Like you think that they're and I should say autism organizations, not autistic organizations, because no one there is autistic. And it's just this podcast is like I hear people's stories, and I talk to people with different things, some that I never even knew existed, like prosopagnosia and anosmia. Those are things that, but it's just it's made me more like wanting to help them, and help people understand them better. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Just use the platform to raise awareness about all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Because people
awareness, acceptance, whatever yeah. Because it's a lot of people who are like us and have something, just kind of don't have any voice.
No one's like us.
No, but you know what I mean with disorders and all that. People really often don't have any voice, and so I feel like if we can be a voice for someone, that's amazing. It's
Yeah, and I mean, not to like, and I will say though, like one thing that I've learned from this podcast, like doing this podcast, that I'm actually kind of like it kind of hurts is like I've noticed that like I feel like there's just this general view of like in society of that no one cares about mental health and neurodiversity and disability. It's just I kind of get this feeling like every time I go to talk about it somewhere, there like I always get this viewpoint from at least one person that it just doesn't seem like they care.
Here he goes again.
Right. Like it makes me want to do it more because of the fact that they don't care. I want them to care.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's because you really don't start to care about these things until you yourself or someone you really love actually needs to deal with it.
Yeah. And
and if you don't have anyone around you that needs to deal with anything like this, it's just easier to try to forget that there are people out there that are trying to who are going through life, and it's just so much harder than their lives and all that. And so and because, like I said before, a lot of people with disorders and syndromes and all that stuff don't have any voice. It's easy to forget them,
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing we're trying to do. That is, not letting people forget about us or people like us. It's like, hello, I'm going to be in your face, so society will maybe someday, be ready for us out there,
Like I was talking to my girlfriend Alex the other day about this. This is like that I've noticed that it's like you get all these people that are just like mental health matters, and they post, like one post once a year for Mental Health Awareness Day, and they're just like yeah, we need to be talking about this, and then we finally talk about it, and they're just like, wait, isn't this kind of personal stuff that you're talking about? And it's like, you just said that we should talk about this more, and now we are, and now you're saying we shouldn't talk about this. Like, make up your mind here.
Yeah,
because we do need to talk about this.
A little bit about it. Just don't talk too much about it.
And I've noticed,
too deep.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I've noticed that with comedy, it's like we do all these jokes, and then like we'll touch on we'll do one joke involving a stereotype, and then it's like the audience goes, now we're talking about it. Now I understand what we're talking about. Like I used to have a joke about coprolalia where I would talk about how I don't shout out swear words all the time, but then I'd have like a string of swear words and say, but I do like to swear all the time. And I would throw that in. And I remember for a while, like I would do Tourette jokes and about my experiences, and no one, it was like every few of them wouldn't get a reaction. But then I did that one, and that got the biggest laugh. And I was just like, really? So all I have to do is just talk about something that is just a stereotype, and you guys will find it funny?
Well, people are, when they're safe in familiarity, it's safer to laugh. Like you said before, when you've introduced yourself and tell people that I'm going to do a lot of tics, you guys should laugh at it because it's hysterical.
Yeah.
And here's my permission, so go right ahead.
Especially when Elva does it. It's hilarious when Elva tics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's the same with neurological disorders or syndromes or mental health issues or any of that. When I talk about my bipolar disorder, I have to tell them that it's not all about manic episodes and depression. There's a lot of other stuff that's going on.
Yeah, that whole stereotype of I was happy this morning, but now I'm not feeling so great. I must be bipolar.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Yeah. I feel so bipolar today.
Just today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually find that the weird. I forget if we talked about this in the stereotypes episode, but I find it so weird that people use serious disorders as just a common word. Like when people are like, I was so depressed the other day. No, you weren't. You were sad.
You were sad. Yeah, exactly.
There's a huge difference.
Mood. You were sad. And I feel with this, like with ADHD, a lot of people just don't understand or get how seriously ADHD can affect people's lives.
Yeah.
And so they're always making fun of ADHD and you always get the feeling that, I have ADHD, and people are like, who doesn't forget their keys every once in a while? No, that is not what ADHD is about. It's about so much more. And it's the effect of it can be really, really serious on people's lives.
It can be really scary.
I hate it. Yeah, and I hate it how people belittle it as a disorder, like it's no problem. It's like it can evolve into deep-seated hatred to yourself. Your self-image, your self-worth are just non-existing. You feel you are always failing everything, and that you can never do anything right, and all kinds of stuff. And it's just, and people are like, yeah, I mean, I think I have ADHD also. Yesterday I forgot this at home and this, and it's like, you were just not,
Yeah, like one of the things that you made me think about, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, is the fact that like with ADD and ADHD, I mean, memory is a huge issue. Yeah. Memory is a huge issue, and like people don't like. I find that people tend to pick on people for forgetting things. Like when someone has ADD or ADHD and they keep forgetting about like specific things. And people are just like, what do I have to remind you 200 times? Like, just remember it. Geez, just write it down or something like that. But what they don't think about is the fact that on the other side of things, like I have a lot of memory, like I have a memory issue, and I don't know if it comes from ADD. I know part of it does, but like I have an issue with literally remembering a lot of things, and it is terrifying. Like I've had times where like I will almost break down because I keep forgetting the same things over and over again. And I keep like when I was a kid, like I literally had days where I'd like break down because I was just like, why do I keep forgetting these things? It's not hard. I just have to remember them. I just have to write them down. Everyone tells me it's so easy. Why can't I just remember? And then I get terrified because I'm like, what if this never gets better? And what if I like for the longest time, I had no idea what my parents' birthdays were. And every once in a while, I still struggle with what their birthdays are. And this is the thing that everyone knows their parents' birthdays. Like it's expected that you just know everyone in your family, you know all their birthdays. But every once in a while, I don't, because I just simply can't remember.
I have siblings where I have no idea, man.
Well, you're Icelandic. You probably have like 20 siblings that you just don't know about.
Shut up.
Yeah.
It was too close to home, man.
Well, there are 7 of us. So I mean,
are there really?
Yeah,
7 of you.
Yeah,
yeah. There's 4 in my family, and it is a lot to keep track of. But but at the same time, like that's just something that people expect that you know. But when you have ADD, ADHD, or just memory issues in general, like people don't think of how terrifying it is from that side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but Elva, like, because, we've been wanting to do episodes about ADHD for a while because it doesn't really
just keep forgetting it.
Yeah. Okay. That was it. That was good. That was good. That was perfect timing. Yeah. That was perfect timing. But what are some of the struggles that you have with ADHD that you don't feel get talked about a lot, other than just the memory stuff?
Being messy, not having focus to tidy up or clean, not having the focus to cook, not being able to study anything because I have to use other measures than normal people to get through everything I have to study. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's the forgetting thing. It's the lack of time, like censoring time is like, okay, I have to be there in 30 minutes. That's okay. I can watch 10 minutes of this episode, right. And then I'm always late,
That's not why you're late. I'm just.
Well, yes, actually, because I just don't have the ability kind of in my brain to accurately decide how much time I need to do all kinds of stuff.
I get that. Yeah, I'm like I'm the opposite though. Like I'm always, like I find I'm always too early for things because I'm always.
Yeah, I was like that when I was a kid.
Yeah, because I'm always trying to compensate with it.
Yeah, my dad and my son are both like that. It's like, okay, we have to be there in 2 hours. Can we go? And it's like, it takes us 20 minutes. Should we just relax? Or So I was like that and I think I think our OCD plays into that. But then but now I'm on ADHD medication, and I feel a lot of these things are getting better. Okay. I mean, it's not a magical pill. I mean, it's not, I don't just take it and just like, oh no, everything's perfect and I'm perfect. But it's getting better. I'm less late. And I can, also I have a little bit more confidence, I feel. And I don't know.
Do you ever find, I'm wondering with ADHD, because I've been trying to figure out like where exactly this comes from for me, but to be fair, I don't really care at this point. Like when you start thinking, I feel like at this point, when I think about a characteristic of mine, I'm just like, who cares where it comes from? I'll just figure out how to cope with it, but like, have you guys noticed like with ADHD or with autism or, with anxiety, like there are moments where it's like you're easily overwhelmed. I know that you and I have talked about this stuff. Yeah. Like you're easily overwhelmed. And when you get overwhelmed, it's almost like you get to that point where your brain just shuts off. And so like someone will be there and they'll just be like, why aren't you doing this? And you're just like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm not doing this, and I also don't know why I'm getting to the point where I just can't be in this room.
Yeah. What I do, if I can't go out of the situation, I will just take up my phone and just play some game in it for a while, and just kind of, I don't know, charge my brain back, and then I can carry on. But sometimes if I feel like this, I will just yell at someone and then I will cry, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good now. Sorry I yelled at you, but so that's usually what happens with me, and it's not very becoming of a woman over 40 to yell at people and then cry. It's not.
Might not be terribly becoming. I mean, that's what Þórhallur does all the time. Yeah, he's over 60.
But he's just such a drama queen always.
Such a drama queen.
I know. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I can totally relate to the brain shutting down, and that's part of the anxiety, especially. Yeah. And I've had some really awkward moments with that. I remember I was working at a place, and it was like a.
Were you working?
like a regular job. And it was like a candy making company.
I thought you said a regular job.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of, it was like 8 to 4, 9 to 5 kind of job. And I mean, during Christmas time, it's like extra busy because they were making like chocolate and for the Christmas and stuff. So this is many, many years ago. I got my girlfriend a job there, my girlfriend at the time. And so she worked the month of December, because it was just they needed extra hand and stuff, and then the kind of like the boss lady came to me, and I'd never talked to her before, and I was just working, and she kind of not snuck like up, but she suddenly was there, and she asked me like, "Hey, what's your girlfriend's name?" And my brain, and I was like, her name is, and I kind of remember, I remember her first name. I couldn't remember her last name, and I made it up. And they were just like writing like a thank you letter to all the employees that were working there for the month and giving them like chocolate or something. And I had to bring home like a chocolate with and a letter with the wrong name on it. She was like, "What the heck?" I was like, I panicked. And at that moment, we had been together for like a few years, so I had no excuse. She's like, well, you didn't remember my name. I was like, I panicked.
No, hold on. I remembered your first name. Okay, I remembered your first name. Let's not forget that.
And like usually, like people like would think that a guy that has anxiety, when something happens, that I would like panic. Also the brain kind of shuts down, and I think I'm overly calm in a crisis situation.
Yeah,
overly calm, sure, but utterly useless.
Yeah,
utterly.
Oh yeah.
Utterly useless. I once saw fire. There was an apartment on fire, and I was the first on scene. I was like parking my car, and then I looked up and I saw this fire coming out like a window or something.
Oh, it was in Mosfellsbær, right?
No, it was here in Breiðholt, actually.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was okay.
Yeah. And I kind of looked around and it was like nobody screaming, nobody like there's no ambulance or no like the fire department isn't here or anything. Like, am I the first one? Okay. So I kind of took up my phone and I called 911, or 112 here. And they're like, hello. I was like, yes. I think this apartment is on fire. Like, I think I saw the flames going out. You know? And they were like, well, yeah. I was like, yeah, it seems to be on fire. And you should come. Oh, take care.
If you're not busy.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, okay. Thanks for letting us know. And then I just waited like 10 minutes and nothing happened. Then somebody else saw it, and they started and called like, "This apartment is on fire! Come right now!" And they were there in like 60 seconds. But because I was so calm, they were just like, "It's just like a little fire, maybe." He isn't even sure.
Yeah.
But I was just so calm that I don't think they even believed me. Like nobody's this calm when like a whole apartment is on fire.
No.
Nobody was harmed, by the way, if somebody's thinking about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking about. I didn't care.
But when your brain shuts off, though, I mean, it is so hard to think of like the basic things.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've had days where there are things that like I will have done so many times over and over again, and then I get in a situation where I'm really overwhelmed. Like for example, let's say I'm making scrambled eggs, right? It's one of the easiest things to make. And there was a night where I like something happened and I just got so overwhelmed and I literally forgot like what goes in scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's literally in the name scrambled eggs. But in that moment, I could not process it. Like what am I doing? Like how do you make scrambled eggs? What goes in scrambled eggs? What do I need for this? My brain just literally shuts off.
I feel like I live with you. I feel like I've heard you like calling to Alex. Alex, what's in scrambled eggs? And she's like, see, Dad, eggs. Okay.
Yeah. But how, all right, with autism though, I mean, what is it like? Cause I know of course, like with autistic people, there's the quote unquote meltdowns.
Yeah.
But like when you get overwhelmed and
that's
like,
what I get. I get the meltdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what is it like before you get the meltdown? Whoa, like what happens like in your brain? I mean, is it the shutdown? Is it that, you just can't process, individual things or, what's going on?
It's sort of, like you say, it's overwhelming. It's sort of like an overload. Every sound becomes more, it doesn't become louder. It just feels more pronounced. So I hear
more present,
more present. I start hearing, like fluorescent lights and refrigerators. This happens, in the supermarket or something. All the colors sort of, they become more pronounced or it's hard to describe actually. They just become more of an attack on the sensory system.
Jump out at you.
Yeah, kind of. And
like it's hard not to focus on them.
it's hard to focus on a specific thing.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things that are crying out for attention, because your attention span sort of tries to encompass everything at the same time.
Yeah.
So that becomes very overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing with sensory overload that, is only really talked about within people who actually know stuff about autism. It's that thing of, and I've actually had these situations in more of a mild state, I guess, with like sensory overload, where it's just like, like certain things, like you'll start only it's almost like you're only able to focus on those, but it's multiple things at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to focus on individual ones, and then it just builds and builds and builds. And then, I'll be at a restaurant and get like a bit of sensory overload where it's like, then the music, it's not louder.
No.
But it's like all your brain can process is literally just like the music, the conversations at every table, the lights, everything in there, the little sounds, the little like noticeable things, but all at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're trying to sit there going, what am I actually supposed to be focusing on? And then you try to focus on one thing, but then another thing comes in and attacks that because it's just like, no, we're focusing on this, not that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I either have to get out of the situation or sort of make a scene.
Yeah.
Where everybody quiets down or something because of something that I did.
Yeah. Almost feels like there's no other option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when we were in Sweden. Yeah. Cause that's when you were having your manic episode, was in Sweden.
Yeah.
We were on a train, or was it a bus or a train?
It was a train.
Yeah. And we were on a train, and you started having getting an overload.
Yeah.
And I've never been more like impressed in my life, because to be honest, not to like diminish this, but like you started doing like it's like the flag push-ups or pull-ups, where you like just took a pole and like hoisted yourself completely sideways.
Yeah.
And we're like kicking out sideways. And I was like, how the fuck are you doing that, Stefnir? And you were just trying to calm down.
Yeah, exerting as much force as I could to get.
Yeah.
Was that the time when he had the muscles on the muscles?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were just like so.
I was really wiry. Yeah.
His muscles were exercising their muscles. Yeah. But he just did this, and I remember we just wanted to know what we could do to help in that situation, but we didn't know what to do.
No.
And then you started doing that, and like in my head, I'm going, okay, I actually know why he's doing that, but how is he doing that? Because that's just crazy.
You should have distracted him by like farting like a duck or something.
Right. Ooh, the cycle back. I completely forgot we talked about that. But I remember though, like, I mean, people were looking at you. I think most people were just impressed with how the hell you did that. But like people were looking, and I remember there were some people that I could tell were looking like, why is he doing this?
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening? Why is this happening in public?
Yeah.
And it was almost like you were mentally just trying to escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
By physically not really escaping.
No, but by physically exerting as much force as I could, as much power. That really helps to just sort of tense everything up. Try and focus on like physical stuff. Like Yosemite Sam talked about, or Sam on Yosemite Sam, talked about how when she gets, that sort of overload type of meltdown-y feeling, a really tight hug might help sort of alleviate the tension, because then you have to focus on the pressure you're under, and that's why weighted blankets are really helpful for people that have a hard time falling asleep, or just letting go of the hyper focus.
So I'm hoping I will get that from for my birthday. I really wanna weighted blanket.
Yeah, weighted blankets are actually apparently really helpful for many disorders. I mean, they've been tested with autistic people, also Tourettic people. I've heard I've heard stories of people saying that their tics are calm when they have the weighted blanket on them.
Yeah,
there's something about with anxiety as well.
I think they have them in IKEA.
Yeah.
But what if it's too heavy and you just lay there and you can't take it off and you just you can't move and you die?
So for anyone that didn't pick this up until now, Þórhallur has an anxiety disorder.
You said like a tight hug when you're being overwhelmed. That would be the worst thing for me. You're holding me down as well.
And then someone will be calling you at the same moment. And
well, that's actually a very interesting thing. Is the fact that we've talked about the fact that
it's
everyone
very personal.
is everyone's different.
Yeah.
And I mean, for example, with autistic people, some autistic people say that, the tight squeeze helps them a lot, where other people will be like, no, I can't have anyone touching me. I just have to be away from everything and everyone. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with like ADHD or ADD for me. I almost feel sometimes when I get an energy overload. And I have to it's like when a cat has the zoomies and they just want to get rid of that energy. They just want to get rid of it. And if you have that much energy and someone tries to give you a hug, it's just okay, I can't have you touching me right now. I need to move. I need to. I have Tourette's. I'm already moving a lot. I need to amplify this in a way.
Yeah.
It's I think you mentioned it, Stefnir, if you're in a fight with somebody, you just want to solve it, let's finish this, let's talk this out.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm if it's too much, maybe in a fight, I just have to now I have to go before I say something stupid or do something. I just have to.
Yeah. Are we talking about? Are we talking about
situation?
Sorry, are we talking about physical fighting, or are we talking about vocal fighting?
Do you think arguing? I've been in a physical fight?
I was gonna say I just don't get in physical fights because I break.
I one of the best lines from do you remember the movie Funny People? Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a comedian, I don't fight. The guy said to beat his ass.
I actually think I would be more likely to be in a physical fight than Þórhallur ever.
Yeah.
You have actually attacked me many times.
I think the one of us that would probably do the best in a physical fight would be Stefnir. Mostly because he's buffer than anyone I've met.
Ridiculously strong, and yes.
But Elva, I feel like
he's a grown up. He's a grown up man.
I feel like Elva's a scrapper. Elva's the one that will surprise you. You'll get in a physical fight with her, and
you're losing an eye.
She will. Yeah. She will break parts of your body that you didn't even know you had.
Oh, she's biting a testicle off.
The extreme blowjobs.
But I never get into physical fights because I am very good at mentally destroying people and making them feel shitty about themselves. So I just do that.
That's why I don't answer the phone.
And that's why I never get into physical fights.
The worst part is you have so much pride about this. You pride yourself in the fact that you don't just break people down. You break them down to a point where there's nothing left.
Well, I could if I wanted to, but I don't want to. But I don't do it. I try not to do it. But if someone would be attacking me or something, I'm just. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like if it would be like a boxing match, I think Stefnir would be number one, Elva would be number two, and then me and Dan just lying in a pile and crying.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, all right. So the thing is, when I get that. All right. Whoa. When I have a few drinks, I'm not even drunk or barely tipsy. I get this weird thing where I don't want to get in an actual physical fight with someone, but it's I pick out my strongest friend and I go, hey, I bet I could wrestle you. And they go, Dan,
really?
Why do you do this every time we go out? And why is it always after drink number 1.5? Why can't we just have a calm conversation and I always go, what are you scared? You scared that I'll find? And they're like, yes, I'm scared I'll snap you in half. Is that what you want? I'm like, you couldn't, like, I told this to a friend of mine who's been a bouncer at a bar for the past like 15 years. And this guy is like he trains people. He doesn't just work out. He trains people. And he's like 10 times my size in muscle. And I'm just like, I could take you, Omar. He's just like, all right, Dad. Like, he just puts his arm like up on the table. He's like, let's just arm wrestle. And I'm like, oh, I'll do this. And then he like puts my hand down in less than a second. And I'm just like, I let you win.
So you also have delusion.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very delusional when I drink. I'm very delusional.
I just imagine Dan kind of walking kind of sideways up to his friend and like, you want to wrestle? I can wrestle you. Like, and a friend like, not again, Dan.
Yeah, but okay. So before I started wrestling,
Elva and Dan wrestle. I think that's a video.
Oh my god, a Tourettic wrestle. That would be insane.
We could do a video of me and Dan wrestling.
Yes. Yeah, but
Icelandic wrestling.
With skis.
Which one of us would
farmers wrestling.
Which one of us would physically break first? Like, I'm talking physically, not mentally. Which one of us would physically break first? Me or Elva?
You, Dan.
Like, she would just poke my arm and it would break.
Yeah.
Yes.
We just pick you up and just snap you in half.
All right. Before Elva and I get into a fist fight here, we are at the end of the episode.
She's from Dreyfus, you know.
She's a scrapper. She's a scrapper. Represent.
Represent.
But we are at the end of this. This has been the 50th episode of My Voices Have Tourettes.
Wow.
And this is actually the last episode that we are going to do of season 1.
Yeah.
So we're gonna for the listeners, we are actually going to be taking a small break here, because we've got some stuff coming up. I'm actually going to be getting ready to release a music album.
Yeah.
So
then we have the wrestling match.
We have the wrestling match. That is, we're gonna live stream that shit. We're gonna live stream. I feel like we're gonna get to that point, and Elva's just gonna be like, "All right, let's fucking do this," and I'm gonna be like, "Wait, we're actually doing this? You're gonna kick my ass. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not stupid." And you're just like,
"I'll be waiting. I'll be naked, like I'm ready, and Dan will just run away, like no."
It'll be like literally, we'll have this all set up. We'll have 10 cameras, like fuck it, Milner will sponsor this.
Yeah,
you know, they'll have people coming in to be referees, and then I'll be like, wait, we're actually doing this? I didn't know we were actually doing this. Just anxiety overload.
You just drink 1.5 drink and you'll be fine.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have 1.5 drink. I'll be like, Elva's just a wimp.
I can take her.
I could take all of you at the same time. So we will be starting back up in August. And we hope that you guys, if you guys haven't checked out all of our episodes, we have them available on Spotify and all streaming services. But first of all, guys, thank you for joining me on this episode.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, if the listeners want to find out more information, Stefnir is Stefnir Benediktsson on Instagram. He's also Stefnir Comedy on Facebook. Elva is the Elva Dögg on Facebook. It's Elva Dögg with 2 G's, and she's also Elva Skelfa. I think is Elva Skelfa on Instagram. Elva Skelva on Instagram. Þórhallur is Þórhallur83 on Instagram and Twitter, and then Thor Comedian on Facebook. And I am Dan Zerin Comedy on all of them, but Dan Zerin Music will be soon coming up on Instagram. So look out for that. I actually already have it. So if you want to follow me already on Dan Zerin Music, it is available. You can follow me, but I haven't done anything with it yet.
It's kind of like porno music, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Like 70s porno music.
It's gonna be very, very calming music that gets you in like a really, really erotic mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you solve.
Yeah, and then I squeak and I just lose. You lose the mood. The mood is gone.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine like a soft core like porn music album that I would put out for people with my tics. and like everyone, like it's like a couple and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm in the mood. Oh yeah, let's do this. And then they hear like, and they're just like, I don't know about you, but I'm done. I
would listen to it.
Oh yeah.
You would listen to it, yeah, but
Yes.
that's because you find Tourette's attractive.
Yes.
I mean, it is a fetish.
Apparently, I mean, I'm the fourth person with Tourette's syndrome that my girlfriend has dated. So, I mean, it's got to be like a little bit more than just light.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to follow us, but now for the part that no one has been waiting for, the outro. So, if you want to find out more information about My Voices Have Tourette's, find us at My Voices Have Tourette's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MVHD Show. This is why I do a different voice every time.
Nobody listens to the outro.
No one listens to the outro. I know. Whoa, what should we promote? What do we want to promote? No one's listening. Should we promote farts?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Duck farts.
Duck farts.
Duck farts.
All right, hold on. I got this. All right.
Duck farts.
Have you ever wanted a fart that makes you happy and scared at the same time? Try Duck Farts. Join our Duck Farts campaign here at Duck Farts LLC. Look for us on Patreon at patreon.com/DuckFartsLLC. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Duck Farts Exclusive. You can also find us on TikTok at The Duck Farts.
we could sell them in a jar or something.
Duck farts in a jar.
Duck farts in a jar, now available on Amazon.
Makes you happy and scared.
Makes you happy and vomit at the same time.
Yes. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Here's a review from a happy customer.
Yeah. Here are reviews from no happy customers.
Yes.
But anyway, just to get the information, we got it. We are on Patreon, patreon.com/MVHD show. We also have MVHD podcast discussion group on Facebook. Join the group. Let's talk about things. And if you want to find out, actually, I'm trying to remember now. You guys are actually throwing me off. We finally broke him.
Misogynistic. I mean,
what voice should I do the sponsors part in?
Just don't do it.
Oh, the bologna taco voice. All right. So this podcast has been brought to you by Gamesel Studio, where we are recording the Secret Cellar Iceland's first and only comedy club, and Smouty's Volcano Sauces. Now, I'm going to tell you about Smouty's Volcano Sauces. If you don't go to Smouty'sVolcanoSauce.com and try the hot sauces, I'm going to call a guy. I got a guy with a guy. He's going to get the other guy with the guy, and we're gonna come over. We're going to have some hot sauce together, and we're going to make you try it. You don't have a choice. It's the best hot sauces I've ever had in my life. That is a word you can quote me on.
Thank you.
That was the sponsors.
Grindr. I got a guy.
I got a guy. You don't got a guy? I got a guy. I got a guy on Grindr. He'll make sure you get plenty of grindage action. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad no one listens to this part of the podcast.
Yeah.
I actually, have you ever wondered if maybe people have started listening to our outros just because of how we do them?
No.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
not.
Yeah.
Can we have the outro for just like a half an hour?
Yeah. And make sure that you listen to us on all the Spotify's and the Apple Podcasts and stuff, and make sure to like and follow and subscribe and do all that stuff. If you have any, rate and review. Rate and review is very important, my friends. If you like the podcast, make sure to give us a 5-star review. We really like those; they're always fun. But if you didn't like us, go over to Þórhallur and just rail him. Not rail him. That he might enjoy. But just tell him all the things you don't like about our podcast, and he'll cry. He'll cry.
I enjoy trains.
I enjoy trains. Is that what you said? I enjoy trains. I like trains. Trains are very fun. They're very exciting, and and I know that Roostina-Punga likes them. Oh, I like Wraith. I'm the Roostina-Punga. I only do that at this point because Elva loves it. I did for fun. The other day I was doing like a voice acting like just demo thing for fun, and I did this like game show called Poor Life Choices, and it was just like poor life choices. That's the name of the game, and decisions are what we regret. Let's meet our contestants. First contestant, what is your name? Jag heter Roostina-Punga. Jag vet inte bara säga hello. I have no idea what you just said, but welcome to the show.
We have to make a game that is called Poor Life Choices. It's just,
I have to do this as an actual voice demo. I want to actually make a voice demo of me doing Poor Life Choices and doing like all the voices in it. And it's just like, all right, Johnny, tell them what they've won. Well, you have won a free vacation to hell. Thank you, Johnny.
Exactly.
But anyway, to the listeners, again, this is...
You're still going?
This has been episode number 50. When we return, we will go back to episodes every Tuesday. Until then, check out all our episodes, and thank you for supporting and listening.